What's up? Good morning, everybody. Truth Tiger is in the house, or at least I'm in the car. And today I'm going to talk about the way of God versus the way of the Matrix. And the way of God is the way of justice, the way of kindness, the way of love, the way of truth, the way of goodness. That's the way of God. It's a way of genuinely doing good deeds. It's a way of, telling the truth to other people. And it's just a way of doing good. It's the way of being a good person. And there's so little emphasis of that in society. In society, we have the law of the Matrix. And the Matrix is about the status quo in society, and it's about believing the lies of society, and it's about being in lockstep with the false and twisted morality of society. Society's morals are pay your taxes, be good to the government. That's the moral of society. Follow the arbitrary government laws. That's the moral of the Matrix in society, Religion, if you're involved in a religion, follow the religious laws, follow their edicts, and it's not whether it's moral or not, there's no real true moral grounding in most of the government laws and religious laws. And then when you go to liberalism and social justice and all that type of stuff, there is no moral grounding in any of that whatsoever. There is vague, twisted, false morality. They have to sort of have something bad going on that they can hold on to, and then they can kind of twist that up essentially and use that to use that for a control tool. I think about the law, for example. Like if someone steals or whatever, you want to get them in trouble, but do you want to really railroad them through the criminal justice system, blah, 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 with a lot of this, social justice stuff. If, women are being treated bad or whatever, something like that, that's happened in the past, sure. Now you're going to use this as this whole thing of we hate all men are terrible, and use it as a way to just drag people through the dirt and gain more control in society. And when you look at religions, they just dog walk people and guilt trip people and just put all these laws and rules on people. And that's the way of the Matrix. The way of the Matrix is to find one little thing you're doing wrong and just to then guilt trip the crap out of you and make you feel horrible about yourself. Or the way of the Matrix is to completely turn a blind eye to evil. There's evil going on, and the way of the Matrix is just to be the status quo says that kind of evil is okay, so we're not going to do anything about it because we don't have to. That's the way of the Matrix. And then all of a sudden it switches and it's going to say, oh, we're going to be hyper vigilant, and so hyper vigilant, and we're going to make a witch hunt against anybody who does this, and it's my God, why can't we just have balance? Why can't we have normality? Why can't we just do things that make sense? And in the law of the Matrix, there is no love your fellow, which is the most important, in the law of God, in the way of God. In the Matrix, it's not about loving your fellow. Nobody cares about that whatsoever, and it's just oh, I pay my taxes and I have the right opinions and I don't make anybody mad and I follow the orders, and people go around and do that and they're yeah, I'm a good person. That's right, I'm good. And it's what good have you really done? You've just been a slave to an evil system, and you have done evil with your hands in service of this system. How are you a good person? How? These slaves to society, which, whatever, I do my own slaving to society. We're all kind of trapped in the Matrix on some level. It is what it is, but it's just how are you going to go around and be oh, I'm a good person, and they take pride in the way they follow the Matrix. They take pride in the way they follow the status quo of society, you know? They take pride in how they go along with the collective thinking. And it's a collective lie. And it's collective gaslighting. And it's collective, manipulation is what it really is. So, I don't know, think about in the past with women weren't, treated the best or whatever, sure, and then now we're in the future, and now it's like we're trying to, subvert men, no masculinity, everything being a man is bad, and it's like, why don't we find something in between, Why don't we find something that actually makes sense and works for everybody? But they have to find some way to make it, like, crappy and oppressive and just, like, bad, Like, making a segue to narcissism, I can think about, my parents, like, being a little kid and being like, oh, why can't we do it this way sometimes? Okay, we'll do it that way, and we're going to do it that way every time, and I'll really give you what you want, and you'll really be happy like that, and that's what the Matrix does to us. I wish I could think of a specific example, but I know we've all kind of been hit with that manipulation tactic in our childhoods of, why can't we go out and hang out in the park more often? And it's some rainy, horrible day, and it's raining. It's like, well, you said you wanted to go to the park. We're going to do it today, even though it's raining and it's horrible weather, And, yeah, I wish I could think of a better example on that, but you guys get the point of what I'm doing, of how they bounce us around from one extreme to another, and how they use the letter of the law and the letter of things to try to keep us trapped. And the ethic of the Matrix is not to have a good spirit or to do good things. It's to just follow the letter of the law. Be as mean as you want. Be as crappy as you want. Be as passive aggressive as you want. Be as contemptuous as you want. Just follow the letter of the law. That's it. Be disrespectful to people in your day-to-day life. Be impatient, but yeah, just follow the letter of the law and you're fine. That's it. Don't have any love in your heart. You don't need that. Don't need that for anything. You just follow the letter of the law. You follow the status quo. You follow the programming. You follow the code, and you're fine. And there's nothing going on in their heart. And the way of God is to have a good, loving heart. The way of God is to be kind to your fellow. The way of God is to be filled with love and peace, and the way of God is beautiful. The way of God is to hold the truth in both heart and mind, and to, use your mind to learn the truth, and to take the truth in, and then you put it into your heart, you store it in your heart, and you do good in the earth, and you help people out. You are a good, kind person to be around, and you do good things that really help people and that really make the world better, and, the way of God is to live a life of humility, The way of the Matrix is to try to make a God out of yourself and to be arrogant and to say, see, I did all this stuff, I made all this money, it's me. Or for, the social justice kind of people, it's to be, look at me, we're victims. Yeah, we're victims. We're the biggest victims. Give me attention because I'm a victim. I'm a victim and give me attention, And obviously there's people with more conservative beliefs who do the victim thing. There's people with more liberal beliefs who do the money thing. But it's it's the same idea though. It's when you really boil it down, it's incredibly selfish and self-serving, and it's just evil, There's no love to it, and the truth is subverted. They're like, whatever society tells me is the truth, They don't think for themselves or try to come to their own conclusions or research things. They're not curious. Just, well, I follow society. What society tells me is the truth, and they do it in this zealous kind of a way. And they're very proud of it. They're very proud of how plugged into the Matrix they are. They're very proud of being a slave to society. They think it gives them an identity, There's no identity in that. And that's a separate video about identity in Christ versus identity in the Matrix. But people get their identity from the Matrix, and they're like, yeah, Matrix, society, yeah, politics, money, yeah, that's my God, that's what I worship, you know. And it's like, worship the Lord our God, you know. So he's the only one we should put above us, because, you know, he is the truth, he is the light, he is the love, you know. And that's why we hold him up above us, because he is those ideals that we have. Whereas in society, you're not going to find the ideals of love, you know. You go in the corporate world, it's not love your fellow, it's make as much money as possible, you know. You go around the educational system or whatever, and yeah, there's learning and whatnot, but it's more about programming and indoctrinating people to believe certain social justice and liberal beliefs. And you know, and then there's whatever, there's all these people, I'm the dean and I'm the teacher and I control over you, and that's all this money, and they want all your money and all this stuff. And same with the medical system and any system in our society. In the end of the day, it comes down to lies and greed and the evil of the world, you know. So we really have to have the code of God in our heart, have the way of God in our heart. We have to use our mind to learn it first, but we have to have that in our heart, and we have to take out the way of the matrix, take out the way of society, remove that from our heart, and let our hearts be clean with the way of God. Yeah. So I'm probably going to end it here. This is kind of an esoteric topic, I guess, but yeah, thank you for everyone who's watched. God bless you all, and I'll see you next time.